Hello, world. This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, real estate keynote speaker and Facebook Live host. And I love to bring on people to Social Selling Made Simple who teach me how to do things, people who have made me better. So today I have the privilege and the honor to bring on Annette Anthony. Hey, Annette, how you doing today?
I'm great, Marky. What is going on?
You know what? A lot is going on. I see that you and I oftentimes we fly past one another in the sky as we
Yeah,
are going to our next destination.
yeah.
But I remember meeting you. We had kind of communicated online and were Facebook friends, but it was at a Inman, I want to say Inman, New York, and
Mm-hmm.
you actually recorded me and you were
Did.
giving me tips. And I said, "Oh, this is a smart lady." And what's funny, at the time we weren't with the same organization, but I started following you to get a better idea of the organization that I was contemplating moving to. And
Okay.
so life is good. I know that you are all about technology. You leverage social media and technology. And inside of the Exit brand, how many agents do we have globally?
We're about 25,000, Marky.
25,000, and you're responsible for training us. And so
Yes.
oftentimes I will hop on to one of your, we call them, well, they're webinars, but we don't call them webinars. What are they called inside of the Exit?
Techinar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
techinars. Give me together. They're called techinars. And we have all these tools and we believe in technology. But when we think about social selling, and because you have these 25,000 agents just in our brand, not including those that you see on other stages and platforms,
Right.
what is the first piece of advice you give to agents today? What's the number one thing I should be doing?
Agents always will, their biggest challenge is that they believe that they're not very interesting. They have to be this persona. And I believe that if you want to be interesting, you have to be interested. So whether that is interested in your community or interested in your clients or interested in, serving your brand or just your clients, you have to really show people what it is that you're most interested in. And technology is such a great platform that you could use that to tell a story, to really show people examples. And it's not about you have to be authentic. That is such an overused word. It's actually showing people examples. For instance, in your community, what do you love the most about your community? Is it the development? Is it the neighbors? Is it the farmers markets? Is it, businesses that you go and frequent, the restaurants that you go to, things that you do with your family? Show that using platforms like social media, show it using video. You have to be interested, and technology has given us the opportunity to enrich what it is that we do, and it really highlights who we are as people. So the biggest thing is you have to really hone in to who it is that you are, and you have to love it. Be comfortable in your own skin and really highlight who that is within you.
I'm glad you brought that up because I I often find that confusing. When, and not for myself, but when realtors tell me, well, I don't know what to talk about, right? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You just went on 5 showing appointments with
Mhm.
5 different scenarios,
Right.
with 5 different lenders, and you just came through 5 home inspections, and every real estate transaction is unique and different. Even if you sold 2 houses side by side, same developer, they're going to have different pins. The buyers are going to have different FICO scores. And so to me, we get all these nuggets and pieces of
Mhm.
information thrown at us, and we need to take that content and then bring it for the world to see. And so when they say that, I'm just like, there are millions of examples from your local realtor association, the state association, the national association,
Mhm.
if you're with a franchise, right? And even inside of our franchise, I would say Nick Libert, he's my managing
Right.
broker. He teaches us something new every single day just by communicating with us via Google. So we use Google in our office in order
Mhm.
to communicate. We use it as an intranet, right, essentially. And he's sending out some tidbit of information. So I love the fact you got to be interested in order
Mhm.
to be interesting.
And you know, Marky, you have to participate too, right? For instance, you have to go to the office meetings. You have to go to your local real estate events. You have to participate in national events. You have to participate by subscribing to, particular platforms that are going to give you real estate information. You have to follow people who are in the industry. If it's not your strong suit to go and search out the best, the latest in what's going on in your market, if that's not your niche, find someone who is, and make sure that you're engaging with that person like a Nick Liebert so that you have that ongoing information. Now, Marky, have you ever been in a room, I know you have, with a bunch of realtors, and that room is buzzing? People can't stop talking, but yet when it's time for that agent to share that information with their client, it's like crickets are happening. So that's a challenge. Whether it's agents thinking that they have to be um, this perfect persona, which they don't. I mean, we're human. And when your consumer really understands that you are so vested in what it is that they want to invest in, that you're willing to treat their transaction as if it was your own. Think about it. If agents were spending, if I'm having to spend my money, I'm going to spend it super wisely in everything that I do. But when you're handling someone else's transaction, you have to have that same empathy, that same passion behind that to say, listen, I'm going to take care of this transaction as if it was my own. And I'm going to walk you along the way. I might not have the answers, all of the answers, but I'll get them. Just being your human self is more than enough. It's more than enough.
The word participate stands out, and I
Mm-hmm.
often think about and I have a bunch of mentors, but I often highlight one, Frank Williams, who is going to be 80. At least that's what he told me
That's
a
awesome.
couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I wanted to be on the board of directors for the Chicago Association of Realtors. I came out in 2004. He jokes, he says the ink wasn't even dry on my license, and I did not know what a realtor was. And
Mm-hmm.
he was 100% correct. But but I had these credentials, and I'm like, they need to put me on that board, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came back out in 2005. I didn't get picked up again. They picked an attorney. I was really teed off that year because I'm like, well, I have an MBA. Him having a JD doesn't mean anything. But I sought out to speak with Frank. And I wanted to know, what was it that I needed to do? What was preventing me from being able to serve on the board of directors? And at the time, the Chicago Association of Realtors was the third largest real estate board in the country as a local association. And so he said, baby doll, he says, now I'm clear they know what your name is, but they can't put a face to the name. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
need you to participate. I'm going to need you to volunteer so they know exactly who Marky Lemons is when I
Yeah.
speak of you, right? That was the first thing. The next thing he says, you need to become a licensed real estate educator, because then you're going to be in front of everybody and they're going to all know who your name is.
Mm-hmm.
And so real estate education wasn't kind of like something I was thinking about doing. I was told to do it, but it came because I needed to participate. If I was talking about being of service to others, I needed to also understand other aspects of the business, the education side of the business. I'd already understood the lending side of the business. So the participation is key. And
Mm-hmm.
we go to all these industry events, and I learned something new at every event, that if I was to come home and research it, I could probably create 2-3 hours of content on that one subject.
So what's interesting is that, okay, you've got agents who just do the bare minimum, Marky, right? They've got their CE classes. They know they have to get those, but that's the bare minimum. And you're going to find those agents who say, listen, I'm just going to do what I have, whatever is necessary. And that's where you're going to find, you know, unfortunately, that's a group of agents that will never find success. It's those agents who say, you know what, I'm going to get on the board. I'm going to go to these weekly events. I'm going to go to these monthly events, and I'm going to network. You know what? You have to do that. You have to, even if you don't know anybody. I've gone to national events and I didn't know a single person, but I'm like, I'm going to leave knowing more people than ever. You have to get involved. And you know what, and further to that, Marky, when you go to events and you learn, you have to take what you've learned and share it with your clients. For example, like if it was, because when you think about agents who have their databases, right, you've got entrepreneurs in those databases. They're small business owners who could value learning from something that it is that you learned. Whether you learn something about social media, you learn something about managing your business, you learn something about managing your time, you can share that information, Marky, with your database to say, hey, I just spent 4 hours at this network event, and here are 2 pieces of information that I learned that's not only going to help me professionally, but it could also help you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer or seller who I worked with before. And what that does, Marky, is you've added value to their business, potentially, and that's a great thing. And then second thing is that your database is always seeing you as that agent who's not just willing to settle for what's necessary, but they're always going above and beyond. And I believe that agents have a great opportunity to be better publicity people about themselves and to just show their database, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm out there, I'm networking, I'm meeting people, but I'm always sharpening my skills.
I 100% agree. If I was to go back in time when I first came into the business on the lending side of the business, I've always had a database. And I know that you have taught me some social selling strategies on how to get all these great business cards, but better yet, not to even collect the business cards. I don't think I've told you this story. We had a big event and it was a trolley tour. And they wanted us to give these paper handouts. And I said, under no circumstances am I getting ready to print 33 pages for 78 people in color. I'm like, oh, we're not going to do that. And so I put a code up on the wall. I put 2 codes up. One was go to kiwilive.com, use the keyword Marky, and I had 135 people who opted in, but I knew that everyone would not do that. I knew that we were going to have some internet connectivity issues.
Right.
So the next thing I did was, because we have a business card system at Exit, and I said, and I put do not do both. Text Marky to my code. And so 8 of the people, I actually had to text them back the information because it wasn't automated, but I had their contact information. Could you talk about how we leverage our business card tool? And let me say this, a lot of people have asked me about the tool. They want to know
how do I get
what service do you use? But if you could elaborate on how to just leverage that one tool in for social selling benefits.
Absolutely. Well, you know, what's interesting is that oftentimes when you're at a networking event and you're talking with people, whether it's real estate related or just networking related, if people will ask you, so what is it that you do? Oh, I'm in real estate, or I'm in lending, or I'm whatever. Oh, that's interesting. Do you have a business card? And oftentimes, how many agents have you come across, Marky, who says, oh, I just gave out my last one? You only bring 2 business cards with you to an event, or what?
Yeah.
So what we know at Exit is if you don't have a business card to market yourself, you are not in the business of marketing yourself. You are what's called a secret agent. And the best thing that we've done for our agents is that we provided them for free a mobile business card so that they can use. Because we know that if you leave your house and you've driven 45 minutes away from your house and you're just about near to your destination, if you forgot your cell phone, you're going to go back to your home and you're going to go get your said cell phone. But if you forgot your business cards, your chances are you're not going to drive back home to go get it. We created the Exit mobile business card, and we provided it for free as a member benefit to all of our Exit associates because we always want you to be networking. There is always opportunity to share what it is that you do, and who is it, above all, who is it that you can help? Who can you serve? There's always somebody out there, Marky, whether it's your Uber driver or you're dining with someone and the waitress or the server was just so attentive. I check in at hotels at 11:30 at night, and the front desk person is just so bubbly, and I'm like, you have such a great personality. And they'll say, I'll give them a card, and they'll say, well, what, they'll ask me, they'll ask me, so what is it that you do? You're coming in so late. I said, well, I'm here for a real estate conference and I'm speaking. And they said, oh, you're in real estate. They'll say, I've always wanted to be in real estate. So there's always an opportunity to share your information. But if you don't have a business card, you are not in business of marketing yourself. So this mobile business card enables our agents to come up with their own vanity code. So you can, and we have a 5-digit universal text code that you can text to. So if you text the phrase engage, ENGAGE, to 85377, you get my mobile business card, which when you think about it, a business card, you want people to do several things with it. If you give someone physically your business card, you want them to call you. You want them to share your information. You want them to email you. You want them to go to your website. You want them to learn all that they can about you. Most importantly, you want them to take all your contact information and put it into their mobile device. But if you think about it, I've got a lot of information on my business card. Who's got time for that? Nobody's got time for that. But if you had a mobile business card, you could just click on this black little button called download card, and you can download that contact information. So now I'm a contact in your phone, and you're able to, contact me with whatever it is that you need. In addition, my husband always shares my mobile business card. He's retired, Marky, 25 years of military and law enforcement. And when I travel, my husband meets people all the time, just like your husband. And one thing that my husband loves to do is when he runs across someone, perfect example, we were in Chicago and my husband was at Man Daycare. Do you know what Man Daycare is, Marky?
No, but I think I should know. Tell me what
Yes.
Man Daycare is.
So when I'm traveling on business and my husband happens to come along with me, Man Daycare is Irish pubs, right? Every Irish pub within a mile radius, that is Man Daycare. They will entertain him. They will feed him. They will make sure he's fully hydrated, right? Well, I'm gone. My husband is talking to the bartender. The bartender takes a look at his driver's license and says, you're from Arizona. What brings you to Chicago? My husband says, well, I'm here because my wife is attending a real estate conference. The bartender, Marky, says, wow. She goes, I'm in the process of getting what do you think she's in the process of getting, Marky?
My real estate license.
Right? So my husband he tells her, get your cell phone out. He says, go ahead and open up a text message. Type the 85377 number and then type engage in the message and hit send. She got my mobile business card and says, that is the coolest thing ever. And he connected her with me. So even your spouse, your significant other can share your contact information. And for us at Exit, it's really important that you're always networking with yourself. Now, this is our technology. And this is, given to our agents. And we create technology, Marky, for the human behind the device, which means it's got to be easy, so ridiculously easy that you can within minutes set up your mobile business card and start sharing it immediately. And if you need support, we have real people that you can call and we'll walk you through on how to set up your mobile business card. But this is game changer for the agents. And I have a lot of technology companies that when we exchange information, I'm not giving them a business card. I'm making sure that I'm giving them an experience. Did you hear that? I want them to have an experience. Everyone hands out business cards. You could be you're not meant in this business to just fit in. You're meant to stand out. And leveraging technology to help you do that can give people an experience to say, wow, that is really cool. A business card, unless it's a really cool business card, people just don't get that same kind of wow factor. But this is a proven way for people to get that experience of, wow, that's really cool. This is just another way for them to have a great conversation.
Now, you know what? It's standing out. It's a couple of things. One, I always say that secret agents don't get found. And so the fact that you mentioned the secret agent, one of the things in our business plan, because not only do we like all of our agents to have a business plan, it starts with the Will of Life. Well, when I look at our business plan, I think last year we had a different set of numbers, but in order to earn a six-figure income, agents should be adding 2,880 contacts to their customer relationship management system. Hence the reason for the mobile business card. Yeah. Well, I call myself the collector of business cards because I know that people often don't have an intention for my business card. I always want to collect the business card of others because I have an intention for their business cards. When you think about the business card, and I think Mark Zuckerberg stated that this is going to be the year of Messenger, and that messaging is 15 times more engaging than email, and messaging utilization has surpassed the utilization of social media and technology. So now we have that person's number, and we can actually go to Messenger to see if there is a Facebook profile and extend that conversation online, where we would take those traditional scripts for phone calling and turn them into text scripts. So the business card idea is a fabulous idea, but with the enhancements of technology, it's really going to allow us to supercharge our businesses moving forward, because we're already engaging in that messaging space.
Yeah, and
What do you see happening?
I would say one of the things I love about messaging is not just typing. Okay, I love the microphone feature where I'm able to send an audio clip, Marky. That's better than anything, and it really enhances the experience for someone that on the receiving end. I want to take advantage of making sure if it's not going to be video, it's going to be audio, because I want them to feel the emotion. And yes, we've got emoticons, you've got all these emojis, and you've got all these memes. Those are great. But when someone actually hears the excitement in my voice about what it is that they did. So for instance, I love to, what I call my 10 by 10 a.m. What that means is on social media, I'm searching, I'm investigating to engage with 10 people on a daily basis. And if you think about that, that's 70 contacts a week. It doesn't take a lot of time. And we do it anyway. We're just most of the time not being intentional. But if you set aside 30 minutes, if that's not even going to take you that long, to find 10 people that you can engage with. For example, when people are celebrating a birthday, don't just type HBD. Okay, because I will unfriend you right now if you type HBD for happy birthday. But instead say, hey, happy birthday, and ask a question. What is it that you're doing today to celebrate, right? That would be an intention, because then you're striking up a conversation. So in addition, so back to your point with Messenger, I love to find people that are doing something extraordinary on social media, and I leverage using the audio clips on Messenger so that I can say, hey, I saw that you're opening up an office on April 1st with Zeke Morris, right? If I was to just type that out, it's not going to give you the woo, right? It's just not going to do that. And more often, if we find, if we continue to use technology to replace us, okay, to just type in the text, we're not going to encompass, that same emotion. But if you use video, if you use the Messenger audio, I'm telling you guys, so how do you do that? So in Messenger, when you open up the app, you've got this little tiny microphone next to, if you're going to compose a message. So if I wanted to compose a message, let's say I'm going to click on Melissa Salazar, I can just go ahead and I can click on this little tiny microphone that's right there next to the texting script. And that gives me the ability to just click on the microphone and speak right into my phone and say, hey, I hope you're having an extraordinary day. Or, hey, I saw that you're worried about something, and I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you, and today's going to go awesome, especially for people that are going, when I'm trying to find those 10 people to engage with, Marky, that Messenger audio clip is gold, because they always listen to the whole thing. Think about that. They listen to the entire message, and they're really excited about the fact that, wow, first of all, they'll say, how did you do that? Or, thank you so much for the message. Or in turn, they'll send me an audio clip saying, I've never done this before. I love it. And, thank you for encouraging me to find this.
You know what? So many things just came to mind by that one simple tip. 80% of people, and we're talking about hour-long podcast, listen to the podcast from start to end. So they're definitely going to listen to that shorter audio clip from beginning to end, right? And so I'm thinking about that, but then I'm thinking about everything else going on with Messenger, even when it comes to bots, how to now embed audio clips back into the bot to make the bot more engaging. And so you actually, that's the one thing I'm going to implement because I'm always talking. And it's kind of like slide dial, right? Where slide dial rings you, but they don't really want to talk to you. They just want to leave you a message, right?
Yeah. And I'm thinking,
Right.
shame on you for doing that.
Right. So think
Yeah.
about it. So slide dial is intended to leave you the message because they really don't want to talk.
Right.
Okay. Well, if you think about the audio clip in Messenger, I'm doing the same thing. I'm leaving you audio that you're
True.
going to listen to
You're
because
right.
I really don't want to talk, right? But it's not slide down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's intentional. It
Yes.
means that I want you to understand how I feel. I want you to hear my voice. But when we look at conversion rates, that if you've never met a person, you have a 1 in 50 chance of converting them versus a 1 in 6. That audio clip, those video clips get you closer to a higher conversion rate because people are getting to know you in a different way.
Yes.
Either it's going to be that audio or visual that brings a deeper sense of connection.
Yeah. You know, like that gas pedal, right, Marky? It accelerates the probability of you being their next client, or them being your next client.
Oh, you got me thinking now. Now, one thing I do know, because you showed it, and I want you to show it here. We talked about flash briefings, and so you actually are a student. So, and as well as I'm, and we have committed to being lifelong learners. And so I did a show, and you've gone, and I don't want to say it, but you've implemented flash briefings because I don't want her to come on and start talking to us. Alexa, and show your logo because have you already set it up or you're in the process of setting it up?
So
Because you're going to do, so you're going to do daily audio clips. So I love it when people practice what they preach.
Well, I love that you bring people to the table, Marky, like Chelsea Pites. I'm a huge fan. I bought her book. I follow her, and she's just a real person. And, you know, what she spoke about is flash briefings. And what really captivated me about that conversation, Marky, is that they're little mini podcasts. I've been very interested in podcasts, but honestly, what has been a hindrance for me on my side is the length of a podcast. I'm hung up on that. Oh, but it's got to be like an hour, right? Not necessarily. It's a conversation, and it's more palatable when you're talking about a conversation. But because flash briefings, I don't want to say the word, because flash briefings are brief little vignettes. I really thought, you know what? I'm going to sink my teeth into this. You just did this podcast last week, right?
Yeah, it released last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
What day was that?
Was that Thursday? It was either Wednesday or Thursday. So you've been busy.
Girl,
you've been busy.
Come on, Marky.
Yes, I love it.
Oh yeah, I've got an account on Sound Up Now. What I did was I looked on Alexa briefing, and there's just, I would say just a couple things for Chelsea that I'll definitely reach out to her. It's the actual dimensions of what the graphic needs to be. But, you know, I sat down and I said, I'm going to do flash briefings. This is awesome. I'm going to sink my teeth into this. And immediately I implemented the process and went through, you know, her YouTube video on how to set that up flawlessly. I'm ready to go. Over the weekend, I was working with Fiverr to create the logo. And, you know, I really sat down to think about, okay, who's this audience going to be? It's going to be realtors, you know, real estate professionals, and what is really the wants and needs. So I really had to digest and think about not just the actual application, but to really think about who's the audience going to be. What is the name going to be? I'll tell you right now, it'll be Rise and Grind, almost like Rise and Shine, right? Rise and Grind. And it's going to be all things tech tools and tips. And I'm really excited about that. But it's, stay tuned for more, but I'm really excited to sink my teeth into this.
Wow. So one, I'm elated because you kind of did the same thing I did. As soon as I finished recording her, I had some extra time. I said, I'm going to implement this right now. And I love video because you can pause it, rewind it. And I paused and rewind a couple of times because it was like one screen missing and I didn't see that step. And and it's set up now. And so it's another way to bring content, but audio is so important. You know what? Our time. I'm looking. I'm like, we've been talking this long already. Lord have mercy. But this is a conversation, right?
Right.
So a couple of things that you've mentioned. One, you need to be interested to be interesting. I love the participate, as we're both avid volunteers and work in our community. So I love that. The mobile business card has changed a lot in my life, but now with the growth of Messenger, the fact that we have that contact information, we can now take that and expand upon it in so many different ways. It's unreal. But this audio clip, the 10 at 10, I'm getting ready to look at my calendar and see how I can implement 10 in 10, because prospecting today is different than prospecting was when we started in this real estate journey. And everyone is still thinking cold calling, they're still thinking direct mail, they're thinking door knocking. I've seen great success in doing none of those, but always doing something different. So this 10 at 10 is something different, but it should be on their calendar. It should be that lead gen hour to 2 hours that they're setting aside every single day. With
Yes.
that with that being said, because we're social selling and because we want all agents to make money, okay? What is one other tip that a unique selling proposition, something that an agent can do today that will make them stand out for lead generation? Because this 10 and 10 is straight up lead gen as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's consideration, it's being interested, it's participating, but at the end of the day, you are setting yourself apart from every other agent in your marketplace. So what's one more great tip that they can go do today?
Okay, so video, Marky, you got to do video, and you got to do it consistently. And that is going to radically separate you from the competition. If you do it consistently and you're providing more value than you're receiving in payment, I promise you, you will absolutely, you'll dominate, because people will constantly see, oh gosh, I see your videos all the time. Hey, I learned a tip. And these are people, when they actually see you in real life, they're going to see that, they're going to see that you're all the value that you're sharing. What do you want to be known for? I want to be known for providing value. I want to be known for providing mentorship. I want to be known for helping people improve their lives. That's what real estate professionals should also be striving for. And by sharing that message on video every single week. Now, in 2019, I made a commitment, Marky, to do a video every single Monday, which is I'm going to post here in just a little bit. But every single Monday, I'm providing what's called Keep It Simple and Shoot video challenges. And this Keep It Simple and Shoot video challenges, I give my viewership on social, and I start this conversation on Facebook. I give them a challenge that they can do in video. I give them a topic that they then can do, video themselves. They don't have to come up with a topic themselves. I'm giving it to them. And what it does is it challenges them to say, okay, I'm gonna do video. And what I have seen happen as a result is slowly, I have seen people, who were watching on the sidelines now getting in front of the camera and actually doing those video challenges, Marky. And that's huge. I know it takes courage, and that is more than we can ask for. But when you surround yourself with people who know, like, and trust you and support you, you could do anything. You could do absolutely anything in this business. And getting in front of people consistently, I mean, your platform is going to give you the one-to-many conversations. You're not just picking up the phone and calling one person. You're not just doing an instant messenger to one person. You're actually having a conversation on video, on social, and you're talking to hundreds and hundreds of people. Give them something that is, will improve their lives. Give them something that's going to uplift them. Give them a tip. Give them something that's going to make them better that can help them in their day. But if you do it consistently, it will radically separate you from any other agent out there.
What's kind of funny, last week, Nina Gonzalez, she's a loan originator here in the city of Chicago. I met with Nina a couple of years ago, and she was looking to change her digital footprint. and to leverage social media in order to grow her loan origination business.
Mhm.
A lot of changes have occurred in Nina's life, but she has remained consistent. Okay. So she sends me a text message. Actually, this was on Friday, 8:58 a.m. It says, "Girl, I had to start screenshotting you some of the results from these last weeks of video." So she just started sending me screenshots of people who want to get pre-approved.
Mhm.
One organization, a Teamsters union with 10,000 union members, wants to bring her in. And so she sent me like 5 screenshots of people inboxing her
Mhm.
because she's a part of our 30 and 30 challenge, 30 leads in 30 days, by doing a video every single day, posting it anywhere. I tell people all the time about the power of video. And
Mhm.
so the fact that you concur and you're doing a Monday challenge lets me
Mhm.
know that video is king, right?
It
So
is.
between the 10 and 10 with the audio clip, committing to at least doing one video per week, that's what social selling is all about. But one thing that I know is you have it on your calendar.
I
And
do.
you have to have it on your calendar.
Yeah.
Annette, if people wanted more information, want to participate in your challenge, want to learn more about real estate opportunities, uh, where do they find you? What do they do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Marky. I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here today with all of you. You can connect with me easily on social. You can find me at Annette Anthony. And you can also text engage to 85377 for my contact information. You know, I love Exit, but even if you're with a different brand, if there's anything that I can impart to help you be better, I'm all for that. We believe in being part of the solution. So by all means, if there's anything that we could do to support you, we're here to help.
And what you just said is so true. I met you in January. I did not come to Exit until December. And you embraced me like a sister. And I wasn't with you, right? You recorded the video, you
Mhm.
shared the video, we engaged online, we saw
Yeah,
each other at other events. And so it is all about helping those who want to grow in this business, regardless to the brand that you're affiliated with. But I think one of the reasons we are so willing to share information is because we are students. We know it's going to be something different tomorrow. And as long as we have on our calendars to learn and implement, we're going to always be ahead because we're taking those steps. So we can give away anything, right? Because we know tomorrow we got to learn and do something new. And
yeah,
so it constantly puts us in the position to come from contribution to help others because we know that our industry is consistently changing. And
yeah.
so I appreciate your time and your energy. I just knew that it would be ideal for people to see us. We have so much fun together
We do.
between the GIFs that we're creating or boomerangs that we create, our dancing, our excitement. We have a great synergy, but the goal is to consistently educate realtors across the country. So I know that they've taken away some great tips. And as soon as your flash briefings come out, I want to be able to share that with everyone because they need to be able to hear this for themselves. With, you said rise and grind, right?
Rise and grind. Yes.
Rise and grind coming to you on your Alexa device.
Absolutely, Marky. Thank you so much. And for the audience, what you're learning, you're going to start to be good, and then you're going to be great, and then find someone to mentor so that you can teach them what you've learned, so that you can master it. Um, Honestly, you're doing so much for the industry. You're elevating the professionalism, Marky, and to give people that additional confidence in learning something new and implementing that into their business. It's game changer. So thank you for all that you do.
Well, thank you very much, Annette. Social selling made simple. I hope you learned something. Always communicate and connect with us online. We look forward to seeing you again next week.